Students, on our day-to-day life, we have come across many different types of persons when we are going to school, when we are coming back to our home. On our way, we see normally beggars around us. So begging is normally a common profession in each and every country. The countries like in India, we have a lot of beggars because India is a developing country. And where do we find beggars? We can find beggars in the marketplaces, near the temples, near the churches, near the masjids, etc. We can find different people, persons begging for their necessities of life. So why do they beg? They beg because they are not able to do different kinds of physical works and earning money. So they need to beg. So in this story, we are going to read a story. The name of the story is The Beggar, and it is written by the famous Russian writer Anton Chekhov. Anton Chekhov was one of the famous playwrights and a beautiful, a different type of writer or short story writer in Russia. And he wrote about a particular person or a beggar who transformed into a gentleman after meeting with a person. So how did change came after him and how he became a good person in the latter part of the life? This is the simple gist of the story. So this story is about the transformation of a beggar into a normal human being or into a gentleman by some types of works. So now come to read about the story. First, in the first stanza, it is given that how a beggar is begging for money to a person or to a strange person in this way. Kind sir, have pity, turn your attention to poor, hungry man. For 3 days I have had nothing to eat. In the first line, he said that, kind sir, be kind to me and turn your attention to this poor hungry man. So the beggar described himself as a poor man. He also described himself as a hungry man, and he wanted to attend towards him or look at him. For 3 days, I have had nothing to eat. I have had nothing to eat, and I did not eat anything. Two different things. If I had nothing to eat, that means I don't have anything to eat. If I did not anything, I have something to eat, but I ate nothing. So he said that for 3 days I had nothing to eat. And I have not 5 kopecks. Kopecks are called as Russian coins. And I have not even 5 kopecks for a lodging temporarily to stay in a particular place. So the beggar explains to the person that he had nothing to eat and he also did not have some amount of money to live in a place temporarily. I swear it before God. I swear it. Swear it here refers to I promise it. What I am telling is right. I am promising it that in the name of God. And for 8 years, I was a village school teacher. The beggar said that he was a village school teacher for 8 years. And then I lost my position through intrigues. Then by secret plot, I was thrown out of employment. And since a year, I had nothing to do. That means I don't have anything to do. I have nothing work to do. Then the advocate, Sergi. So these all things he was saying to an advocate. Advocate means a lawyer by profession. His name was Sergi, who is the main character. Two characters are in this story. One is Sergi and another is the beggar. So the advocate Sergi looked at the ragged, fawn-colored overcoat of the suppliant. The advocate Sergi looked at the ragged here refers to torn clothes, and fawn colored here refers to a type of light brown color clothes of the suppliant. Suppliant is a person who humbly request for money. जे बारंबार अनुरोध करके पैसा मांगे हमें ताको suppliant बोली कहू. So here suppliant is the beggar. So he looked at the beggar at his dull drunken eyes. At his dull here refers to uninteresting, or dull here refers to weak, and drunken eyes. So he was completely a drunkard person. So drunken eyes, and at the red spot on either of the cheeks. On the red spot on the both of the cheeks. Dipot galre lal ba red type of spots achi. And after that time colored overcoat of the suppliant, at his dull drunken eyes, at the red spot on the either cheek, and it seemed to him as if he had seen him before. From that particular part he came to know that he had seen him before. I have now had an offer of a position in the province of Kalinga. The mendicant went on. The mendicant again said to him, again continued to say him, I have had an offer. That means I got a chance to work in a place in Kaluga. Kaluga is a province or state where the beggar said that he had offered a position. That means he was provided a job, and to go there he did not have money. For that reason he was begging. Then why was the beggar begging money? The beggar was begging money because he had to go to Kaluga. I am ashamed to ask. I am to ashamed. Ashamed here refers to I am feeling shame. I am feeling very shameful. I don't have ability to. I don't have any habit of begging money, but I am forced to do so because of my circumstances, because of my condition. My condition forced me to beg. मोर condition मते बाध्य करछि भिख मागिया पे, किंतु प्रकृति रे मो मते भिख मागिया कपनो खराब लागुछि. I feel shame to beg money from you, but I am forced to do so of my circumstances. Then Sarji's eyes, Sarji here refers to the advocate's eyes fell on the man's overshoes. Overshoes here refers to one type of gun book. But in the Russian people normally wears it. So the man's overshoes, one of which was high and another was low. That means both were of a different height. And then suddenly he remembered something that he had seen somewhere else. Look here, Sarji called him, look here, it seems to me I met you the day before yesterday in the Sadhubay street. He was saying to the beggar that look at me, it seems to me, it is looking like me, I have seen you before in the Sadhubay street. Sadhubay street means another place, the day before yesterday. But you told me that day that you were a student who had been expelled. And at that day, on that day, you told me that you were a student and not a village school teacher. से दिन तो मते कहितलु जे गोटे स्टूडेंट थिलु जे कि तते एक्सपेल कर दे कि स्कूल रू बाहर कर दियतला. But now you are telling that you were a village school teacher who was thrown out of employment by intrigues, and not a village school teacher. Do you remember? No, that cannot be so. The beggar mumbled. Mumbled means as if he was caught by his own words, as if his lie was being caught. सत्यकिता मिछड़ा धरा पड़ीगला सेतला से कोन कला ना he mumbled means spoke unclearly. Then taken aback, he was completely surprised. Then again he repeatedly said, I am a village school teacher, and if you like you can see my certificates. If you like then you can see my papers here refers to certificates of proof. You can see my certificates of proof. Have done with lying. You called yourself a student and even told me that you had been expelled for, don't you remember? Then Sarji was flushed with anger. So then he said that have done with lying. It is a limit to tell the lie. And you told me that you were a student who had been expelled, and now you are telling that you are a village school teacher. Have done with lying. In this way, the Sarji became angry upon the beggar. On the next class, we will read the latter part. I have also given some questions and the difficult words, and you note it down in your notebook. And if any type of problem, then you can ask me on my WhatsApp number. Thank you.